be our last speaker.
There has been a great deal of talk about the financial difficulties in District 210. But tonight I do not want to talk about the financial deficit in our district. Rather, I would like to talk about the moral and ethical deficits that have existed in our district for several years. I and many others have been disappointed to discover how many decisions were made by this board and administration that clearly showed a lack of good judgment and in some cases were unethical and perhaps even criminal. The announcements this week that federal prosecutors have instituted a grand jury probe certainly points to this possibility. This board itself has acknowledged the administration handled many financial dealings inappropriately in the resolution that was read by the district's attorney at the April 14th meeting. The fact that our high school district was required to appear in the United States District Court earlier this month has truly brought shame on our community. For this reason, I also respectfully request the plaques in our high schools honoring Lawrence Wiley be immediately removed. I do not think our students should be walking by these plaques on a daily basis when this man's actions clearly have hurt this district in innumerable ways. This is an opportunity for a teaching moment. Our young people can see that no matter what position you hold in your company, organization, or community, if you act unethically, you must face the consequences of your actions. Our district student handbook outlines consequences our students will face if they exhibit unethical behavior. On page 8, it says students who engage in cheating or other deceit should expect to find their conduct reflected in their grades. Page 9, any student involved in lying or attempting to deceive a Lincoln Way employee will be subject to disciplinary action. It's very valuable for our students to understand that deceitful behavior should not be tolerated. Of course, this should apply to the adults in our district as well. On page 18, the handbook states, one of the fundamental objectives of Lincoln Way's educational program is to teach good citizenship and respect for certain necessary rules and regulations. Based on this statement alone, I believe the plaques must come down, since Lawrence Wiley clearly did not show respect for rules relating to the handling of the district's finances or communicating truthfully to the community. However, I, and I'm sure most people in this room, do not believe that all of the blame for our district's problems can be placed solely at Wiley's feet. No, this board and current administration also have been complicit. For years, no one questioned Wiley, and your negligence has cost the taxpayers in this district millions of dollars. I know you want us to believe that you were simply duped by the previous superintendent and were completely unaware of our financial circumstances, but that's not true. Wiley was vocal about the fact that the state was not properly funding education. We in the public certainly heard these references, so you also must have been aware of our impending financial challenges. And yet, as reported in a May 6th Daily Southtown article, I was disgusted to read that nearly $6,000 was spent on expenses related to this board, including stays at the Palmer House Hilton, photos, and a parka. I'm appalled that board members chose to stay at an expensive Chicago hotel when you knew our district was facing financial difficulties. Now, you may say $6,000 isn't that much when you're dealing with millions of dollars, but surely you can see how bad this looks. In addition, by failing to ask questions and relying solely on the word of the district's administrators, past and present, you have not been true to the oath that you took as a board member when you swore to respect taxpayer interests by serving as a faithful protector of the school district's assets. And despite your contributions to our financial woes, you have never apologized to the community, which is sad and wrong. I'm sure everyone in this room has heard the phrase, the Lincoln Way, to indicate how things are done in our district. I believe it's time for a new Lincoln Way, where the people who lead this district act ethically at all times and exhibit integrity in their decisions, where they acknowledge wrongs that have been made in the past, apologize for them, and implement policies to ensure those wrongs never occur again. Further, in light of the current grand jury probe, I believe this board should direct the administration to halt all major decisions, including the closing of one of our high schools, until the federal investigators complete their work. With these actions, the board and administration can show they are not morally bankrupt and may begin to earn back our trust. Perhaps then we all can take pride again in saying we live in Lincoln Way District 210.